Welcome back to Eastern Stadium for another beautiful day for soccer here in Lansing. This week, we've got Marshall Acosta next to me in the booth, where he will be for the rest of this season. Marshall, say hello to the people.
Hello, people. I am happy to be here. I'm excited to broadcast this game.
Marshall was out last week, just graduating from Aquinas College. How was your graduation, Marshall?
It was good. A little longer than I would have liked, but I know it meant a lot to my parents that we would stay the entire time and enjoy the moment, because it was a good 4 years, and I'm glad to have been graduated. So
all of that sounds just about right. We've got a gorgeous 82-degree, beautifully sunny day here in Lansing.
We do.
We've got Indy Boyz on deck in this Midwest Premier League opener. Last week, the Robins trotted out 6 new players. This week, that number's down to 3. They've got a lineup chock full of returning Robins and just a couple new guys as additional players are coming back from college, as well as some surprise additions to the roster. Marshall, talk to me about what you saw in training this week.
Yeah, so I was at training at Thursday night, and I just saw a lot of balls being played from the outside to the middle. Coach Sorg really put an emphasis on running sets within the box, because he said that was one thing that last week he wished that they would have done better. And yeah, it was kind of just playing balls up to the side, playing them to the middle, and getting a good touch. Coach emphasized a lot in practice how they need to at least have 4 or few touches and then go.
We talked about this last week in Marshall's absence, but with our viewers about how much Coach Sorg likes to see the squad attack. And that was definitely emphasized again in the pregame today. He really wants to see the boys set the tempo in this Midwest Premier League opener. He's rolling out another 4-2-3-1, and so across the back, we've got Ben Derby again, and then Kevin Payne, fresh off his own college graduation at Niagara University. In a few weeks here, he will be vaulted into the lead for all-time most minutes played at Lansing Common. He is joined in the back by Brett Swatton and Max Crawford in the fullback position. Add a couple double sixes in the double pivot. We got Spencer Powell and Avery Dresky in the midfield. In the attacking mid, we've got Munir Shirali added to the roster this week. On the wings, Jack Voigt and Seth Russ, and up top, Ty Uziak. Marshall talked a little bit about how much Coach Sorg loves to see the Robins whip the ball into the box from the outside. That's obviously been a hallmark for this squad for 4 years. But one thing we're expecting to see more of today is some quality on set pieces. Anything to share from the training sessions this week on that, Marshall?
Yeah, so it helps that Mooney is back, Munir Shirali, number 16. It helps that he's back. He said that he is a big part on their free kicks, and he's really their main set piece when it comes to playing balls into the box.
We also another thing we talked about last week was just through the history of this team, they've always, whenever they were in a slog or behind in a match or down a man, they were always able to find that extra gear, find that difference maker. And you see that all over the field today with Jack Voigt, with Mooney, of course, with Ty Uziak, with Seth Russ, with a new guy in Swati. And then, of course, some of those rock-solid, Brent Sorg's favorite word, reliable guys in Spence Powell, Dresky, KP.
Yeah, we were texting back and forth this week about Brett Swatton out there. He's just really good touch, really smart with the ball, plays the right passes. I was really impressed. He was a guy that really stood out to me during Thursday's practice session.
A guy who has not played out of the back in his college career, or as far as I know in his high school career. He is a converted fullback who prefers to play up top. We are no doubt going to see him going up all over the field tonight, but somebody that the coaches are comfortable with doing that because he's able to get back in a hurry. So you see the boys lining up for that starting 11 picture as soon as KP gets back to join them, which will certainly be on your social media feeds very soon as we head towards a 6:05 kickoff.
From our wonderful social media team down there, getting the snapshots of the team.
Just outside your frame on the stream as the refs prepare to get us started. Not a lot of familiar faces on our reffing crew, as far as I know, which is always interesting. A little bit of a a smaller sized market here, you tend to see a lot of familiar faces, and not so much tonight. In fact, I heard one of the officials giving directions to Eastern Stadium over the phone earlier tonight. So that's confirming my gut instinct there. Indy Boyz, I believe this is the first time they will be lining up to play Lansing Common. Certainly the first time I've seen them play Lansing Common. But I am most excited about the road trip down to the northwestern Indianapolis suburbs later in July. This is a squad of predominantly recent immigrants who are now living in the Indy area. And so we expect to see a lot of really dynamic play, and also a team that knows how to play together as a team, because this is not a bunch of guys that go to 11 different colleges. These are guys that live in close proximity and play together throughout the year as a club, not just for these 12 weeks in the summer. And so not sure what to expect with it being early in the season, but looking forward to a fun match here on a sweltering day at Eastern Stadium.
Yeah, and from what I've heard, they're just really raw. They're coming off a loss 3-1 against Holland Rovers. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they match up with the Common. And yeah, I just heard that they have just a lot of raw talent.
And just a dynamically dressed head coach.
Oh,
who
yes.
Is, just stepped briefly into the bottom left of your stream. He's wearing all white, which, you know, is probably a smart move with the Heat, but certainly a bold move.
He came prepared. He came prepared, to say the least.
Absolutely. You love to see a fresh outfit, just fresh off a 4-hour drive, too.
All right, looks like we're lining up here.
Getting ready to roll the ball out. Munir Shirali standing over it for the Robins. Wearing number 10.
Wearing number 10.
Just like we expected, right, Marshall? Bear with us, guys, as we're going to be trying to keep up. But again, fortunately, we've got fewer new faces on Common this week, so we're going to be recognizing faces as opposed to names. As Munir Shirali not wearing 16 like you saw on my sheet, but wearing the number that aligns with his position. As a long ball goes to Jack Voigt, and he immediately whips into the box. Oh. Headed over the goal line dangerously by Indy Boyz, and in the first minute, the Robins have a corner. Munir Shirali standing over the ball, and I don't have any intel to offer on this because when I was in the locker room, they were still debating over what one arm or two arms might mean, and so it's going to be a surprise to all of us to see what Mooney does with this ball, but I bet it's going to be dangerous.
And Coach Sorg, obviously I said before, had put an emphasis on how pivotal Mooney plays in these set pieces on the corners.
Too tall for KP off the Indy Boyz defender and out for another corner. Mooney is going to trot all the way across the field. Looked like Spencer Powell went up for that, missed it, went off the rear end of a defender and over the goal line harmlessly, but at Mooney's feet for another corner. Stands over the ball, one arm up. Outswinger in.
A little deep there. Oh.
Wind might have gotten that one, yeah. Common retains possession. Over to Max Crawford. Back into Mooney. Back to Max. Max finds Ben Derby, who's got all kinds of time and all kinds of options. Looking for Swati. Finds Swati with a well-placed ball. And Brett's making a run as he loves to do. Turns and finds Avery Dresky. Wearing number 8. Just like we expected.
Just like we expected. It's not like we put all the numbers down because we thought we were wearing different numbers.
Well, we know that Swati won't be wearing 8 then. We got 5 over here.
We'll figure it out as we go. Play from the outside.
Seth Russ, dangerous run, and goes out for a goal kick, unfortunately.
Goal kick for the Indy Boyz.
Indy Boyz with possession here now for the first time. Looks like they're thinking about playing out of the back.
Yeah, these first 2.5 minutes have, in terms of ball possession, have been dominated by the Common so far. Oh, uh-oh.
And that pass comes right in for Ty, who tries the long ball and can't quite get it under control.
Through the goalpost.
I'm sorry, that was Jack Voigt standing over that ball wearing number 12.
Indy Boyz playing dangerously in the back.
I would say maybe they didn't watch tape, but, you know, not a lot of tape to watch at this point in early May. Headed out.
That'll be a
for a Lansing Common throw-in. Mooney on this one. Yeah, throws are something that the boys are still searching for an answer, the lowercase b, the Lansing Common boys are still searching for an answer on. We've typically seen with throws, there be a designated right back, left back who that goes to on default, and that's been kind of passed around as Mooney stands over another corner. This one to the top of the box and back to Mooney's feet.
See if Mooney can play something well in here. I like it. I like it. Oh,
real nice ball. Ben Derby just not quite able to get his head over it. If he could have, that probably would have been in the back of the net. Just over the bar for another goal kick. And we will see if Indy Boyz, again, try to play out of the back into the teeth of this Lansing Common press. And I think we're likely to see a little bit more of an aggressive press today because of the weather, which might be counterintuitive, but Sorg's going to use his subs more freely, and so feel free to go all out for 40 minutes.
For sure.
Mooney with a great strike.
Good save by the Indy Boyz keeper.
Came out for a dangerous rebound indeed. Nice save.
Man, they are, I'll tell you what, Josh, I'm seeing a lot from their goalkeeper. He has not booted one yet. He has given it to his defenders just about 5 yards out of the box, and they're kind of playing with it.
Giving it to his defenders, and one of the things you shared with me out of training this week was we expected Indy Boyz to be a little fast and loose with the ball, and that has certainly been the case.
Yes, they have yet to proceed the ball past the 40-yard line, I believe. Can we get it past that 40? There we go.
The long ball, which is just going to go directly to Brett Swatton, who's going to head it back to Sean O'Mara. O'Mara, sorry, Sean.
Derby will play it up to Mooney. Now back to Derby. KP's looking for someone. Finds
great
Seth
ball
Russ.
by
Great
KP.
ball. Oh, just out of the reach.
Seth had Max on that overlap, and again, Max being a new player and Seth being just fresh back in Michigan off college, just a little bit out of step there, but you saw the danger in what they were doing there.
Ben Derby plays a ball downfield. Is that going to be offside?
That was not by my eyes and not by the refs either.
Good head. Yes, goal.
Just like that.
That was money.
Oh, my goodness.
That was all off that beautiful ball by Ben Derby played into.
Ty had that. Ty had that on the goal line. Ty fed it up. And a Jack Voigt header, which we don't say very often around here, but a beautiful goal. A nice little 1-2. As you said, Ben Derby made that happen out of the back.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, that's Jack Voigt has both goals for the Lansing Common so far this year.
That's right. Although, you know, I don't know. You're going to have to consult with our official statistician about how the friendly goals match up in the official record versus the league goals.
Gotcha.
But certainly, as the leading scorer all time for the Robins, and not even with work in all 4 seasons, somebody who we're likely to hear his name and say his name a lot more this year. Almost too easy there in the 6th minute.
Yeah, it's just been a dominant effort so far by the Common. They're distributing the ball very well. They look calm. They're patient. They're finding their guys.
Swatty's screaming for the ball, and Sean just didn't see him, but the Indy Boyz didn't see him either. And that is not somebody you want to leave alone there with acres of space still on the left.
There was about 20 yards separating him and the closest Indy Boyz defender for a minute there.
Indy Boyz in the orange and black. Hummel, of course, the official kit sponsor of the Midwest Premier League. Hummel will never be the kit sponsor for the Lansing Common Football Club.
Now, I thought the ref was going to call a handball.
The ref raised a flag for handball.
We do not have a handball, but we're going to play on.
I don't know that I've ever seen advantage called on a handball, or if that's even what happened there.
Great ball there.
Another dangerous ball, and the keeper playing.
We have the keeper on the 20-yard line.
Boy, I don't know that I've seen that in a Midwest Premier League match before.
I have not seen that. Man, but the Common, they just don't seem pressured.
Dictating the tempo was point number 1 on that whiteboard up in the locker room, and can't argue with that so far.
Through these first 8 minutes, that has been seen. Throw in here for the Indy Boyz, trying to find a teammate.
That handball goes.
That handball
goes
was
whistle.
called. Come on, ref, we got to call it both ways.
Maybe he was calling it. Maybe the head ref decided to give advantage. Again, not something I've seen before on a handball. But
we've seen a couple things in these first 8.5 minutes that.
Well, welcome to the Midwest Premier League. If Kyle Clayton was here, he would join me in saying greatest league in the world. An absolutely rollicking Friday in the Midwest Premier League. 2 suspensions, one for a lengthy lightning delay on a 7 p.m. kickoff. I don't know if the venue where Livonia was playing didn't have lights, or if it just looked like it was going to be a lot of lightning. But a game called last night. We had a 4-1 game.
Great ball by was that Swati?
That was Swati, who found Seth Russ, but just a little bit too long for him. And again, talked a lot about this last week, but it does seem like the wind is impacting the flight of the ball a little bit today. In a very different way than it was last week. We had 40s and 50s last week, and a little bit of rain came through before the game. And today we got 82 degrees and nothing but bright sunshine.
It is a beautiful day here for Common Soccer. Another
Probing ball by the Indy Boyz that finds Spencer Powell's head, but we got one-on-one, and this is the most danger that the Indy Boyz have had with the ball so far.
Swati did a great job there, pressuring and deflecting that ball into the backfield. Great help.
Swatting, and we got Jack Voigt coming back to play help defense.
Great help by Voigt there.
Which is not something you see from somebody who's the leading goal scorer on the team very often, but his work rate is just out of this world.
And you love to see that. You love to see guys that are going to put it out there 100% every single night, no matter what position they're playing, coming back and helping their guys out.
Another great tackle by Spencer Powell in his own box.
We're moving.
Another great long ball. Seth just missed Max Crawford. Max caught up to it, and the ball from Max just couldn't quite find Seth Russ, but it's out for a Lansing Common throw. Max Crawford on this one.
That'll be another Common throw.
Finds Ty, who gets into it. Gets tied up, you could say. Ty's back on the ball. Wearing number 7. Into the box, booted away, and again finds Spencer Powell's head.
Spencer Powell. Corner kick coming up for the Lansing Common. Let's see.
I
Mooney
promise to our viewers I will not repeat this story too many more times this year, but Marshall didn't get to hear it last week. So
let's hear it.
Spencer Powell was in for an open tryout, and Julian Burge told me that man has never lost a ball in the air. And, you know, I don't know that I've ever seen him. If he's going up for a header, he's going to win that ball, and he's doing something positive with it.
You know, it's funny you bring that up because during Thursday's training session, he was getting every header out of the air.
Yeah. And that helps a lot, especially, I mean, it's a great quality to have anywhere on the field, but looking for answers in that 6th position, it's great to have somebody that can do that, as it's out for another corner for Lansing Common.
For sure. Once again, as I pointed to earlier about Jack Voigt, Spencer Powell just strikes me as one of those guys who's just going to lay it all out there for his team.
Whew.
That'll be an Indy Boyz goal kick.
A bit of a saucy challenge on Max Crawford, but no danger. Indy Boyz playing out of the back once more, and the Robins giving him a little bit of room to work with. Now Ty steps up. Spencer Powell has joined the press out of his central midfielder position.
The Indy Boyz, they really trap themselves inside of their own box. Ben Derby's looking for someone. Finds Spencer Powell. Back to Kevin Payne. He's got all the time in the world.
Ooh, nice block on that, as you knew that wherever Kevin Payne was going with that ball, it was going to be somewhere dangerous.
That was... Something tells me we would have had a good chance for a goal there if that ball would have gotten through. Great job by Ben Derby deflecting that out.
Yeah, first dangerous cross for Indy Boyz ends up earning a corner.
Let's see what they run here. I'm interested to see if they run any corner sets at all.
Two hands in the air. Nice ball into the box, but it finds Max Crawford's forehead.
Great job by Max getting that ball out. Looks like a shot on goal. Easy save for Sean O'Mara. Sorry, Sean. Great ball by Seth Russ there.
This is Max Crawford way out of position on the right. Finds Mooney.
Great touch
Seth
by
Russ.
Mooney. Seth Russ. Wow. Great ball by Seth Russ. Off a beautiful pass from Mooney.
My goodness.
That was beautiful.
And in the 15th minute, we are off 2-0 Lansing Common. And again, on a day like today, that's exactly what Brent Sorg wants to do. He wants to dip deep into his bench, and the front line says, thank you very much, coach.
I'll tell you what, I think Sorg is really liking what he's saying because he has not moved from that chair once this game yet. Just looks over at Coach Derby and says, we can do this all day. Let's keep this pressure up. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this team so far.
These games are always fun because the halftime speech, I promise you, is only different in terms of the words he's saying. It is no different in terms of volume or intensity. I imagine if this game continues in this way, Brent Sorg is going to ask the boys to take pride in their clean sheet, something like that.
Great ball by Ben Derby there.
Really nice ball. Finds Max Crawford, catches up to the ball. Back to Mooney, who, by the way, Mooney absolutely made that ball happen.
That was a beautiful touch.
Very casual flick.
He set
and that's what he brings to the squad. Swati making things happen in open space.
That's our guy, Josh. Let's see if Swati can play a beautiful ball in there. Oh,
nobody there for him.
Seth Russ was just trailing behind that. Seth Russ plays a ball in. Oh, just out of reach.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of the defensive strategy here is to apply pressure with one or two hands and hope for the best. And the Robins have just not been fazed by that at all. If anything, once your man commits his weight in that way, he's opening up all kinds of space. Nice little turn there, but he was out of bounds.
Just out of bounds line. And I saw Jack Foy give Seth Russ kind of the thumbs up there, telling him, hey, man, we're on the same page, just the ball was just a little too out there for me.
Avery getting dangerous. Getting a little salty with his moves there. Like to see it. Jack Voigt taken down, and
that'll be a common throw-in, I believe.
Throw-in, no free kick given for that.
This will be Swati throwing this ball in. Player out of Albion College.
Mooney with another real casual flick. Oh, Avery just couldn't get over that ball.
You know, I can see why Coach Sorg was so happy with getting Mooney back, because he is just setting these guys up for success with his touches right now.
Yeah, it's, you know, you don't know what you have till it's gone. Last year, this squad played a back three because we had such an embarrassment of riches in the midfield. But that having a natural central midfielder able to play in that role, it's just, it does so much for your team all over the field. But we saw it in that feed to Seth Russ, and he's been all over the place today. What a finish by Seth, though. Oh, my goodness.
That was a great goal off of one touch, too. And as I said before, Coach Sorg emphasized this week, it needs to be less than 4 touches for success. Let's
Jack Voigt
see
off
Jack
to the
Voigt.
races.
Oh, just out of reach of Jack Voigt.
The keeper might have watched film because he says, I'm not going to be punished the same way that happened to Livonia last week for that first goal, for that first and only goal of that game against Livonia.
That ball's a couple yards just shorter. I think Jack Voigt has his 3rd goal of the year. Oh. That'll be an Indy Boyz free kick.
Brett Swatton with some a couple extra words on the way by, and it seems like the injury is cleared up.
See if the Indy Boyz can play something in here. Great header by Ben Derby there, clearing that ball out. Great pressure there by Ty Uziak. So Josh, we're nearly 20 minutes into this. What is the one word that you would describe these first 20 minutes from the Common?
Attack?
I like it.
Tenacious?
Tenacious. It's a great word also.
Yeah. I you know, unfortunately, I think we just haven't learned a lot about this squad and what we can.
Oh.
It's Ty Uziak.
Missed opportunity there by Uziak.
Just not able to get an initial touch on it, but if he could have,
that would have been.
It was him alone at the penalty spot. Yeah, I mean, that's a great example of what I'm saying, right?
Attack,
But you know, in games like this, sometimes it's one side's day and it's not the other side's day. And I just don't know. You know, we know every year that this Lansing Common squad is going to be in the mix at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't know that that a game like this gives us a whole lot of new information about the strengths and the weaknesses of the squad.
Yeah.
When, you know, they look dangerous, but the guys that look dangerous have done that before. A great throw into the box and almost in the back of the net.
Seth Russ was waiting there for that ball.
Off an Indy Boy's head. But, yeah, certainly Seth Russ was all alone at the back.
Mooney looking to play another ball in here. Plays it in. Looks like this will be another corner for the Common.
A really nice low corner there, which is, you know, not something you say all that often, but really dangerous and threaten the defender to get uncomfortable there. Another one.
Oh, just Ben Derby was charging in there.
KP was also just not quite able to get on the other end of that, but that would have been quite a welcome home for Kevin Payne. Going for that long throw in again.
Wow. Wow, that is
Avery Dresky.
Oh, they're going to call it back. Now, what exactly was the call?
I'm not certain what the call was, but
Avery,
the boys in red knew what happened right away.
And Avery Dresky was unfortunately robbed of a goal there. As Indy Boyz go on their attack. Oh. We'll have a free kick for the Indy Boyz.
A phenomenal throw too, I believe, from Max Crawford, who might be our new throw-in specialist.
That was
with a cannon like that.
That was a long throw-in, to say the least. As the Common will look to get set defensively. Ball's played in. Swati bats it down with the back of his hip. Shot on goal, nope. And that'll be a
goal
kick.
As Ty
Common.
Ty sits in that up position on long free kicks like that, just trying to get in the way of it. Reminds me of a game against a club who I won't name a few years ago, with a long free kick here at Eastern Stadium from almost exactly that same position. And the coach spoke in Spanish to the player on top of the ball, telling him to just whip the ball straight at Ty's face. Just hit him in the face. Well, what he didn't know was Ty, first of all, speaks just enough Spanish that he was just sitting there cracking up laughing. But secondly, if there's anybody who's going to prevent a free kick from getting in to the box, getting anywhere dangerous with his face, it's Ty Uziak, who was not at all worried about anything but blocking that ball. Yeah, a couple summers ago, I won't narrow it down more than that. Ty keeping up that press. The Indy Boys
See
continue
if
to
Swati
try
can cut it off. Yep, beautiful. Jack Voigt looks for someone.
Spencer Powell just a little bit too generous with a lead on that ball to Max Crawford. Letting him run in front of it. And it's given right back to Lansing Common. You know, I gotta say, now that we've got a team from Indianapolis in the division with us, perhaps maybe even by July, but maybe in year 2, the supporters group might want to coin another new trophy. You know, we've got the Indiana capital represented here with the Indy Boys, and we've got Michigan's capital represented. I don't know. I'm not. You couldn't call it the I-69 Derby because we've got Fort Wayne in the way, and there's of course a squad in the division there. But yeah, something for the Coffee Firm podcast or maybe some others in the supporters group to work on. Unfortunately, I don't think anyone from the branch is listening to this broadcast, as they are here. It's Ty Uziak
See what Ty Uziak can create here.
Plenty of space.
Oh, just out of the stretch of Mooney.
The clearance falls to Kevin Payne.
Kevin's got a lot of time.
Finds Max Crawford. Right back to KP. Up to Mooney. Mooney trying to find Spencer Powell and gives it away.
Kevin Payne, great job cutting that off.
The danger.
Whoa.
Seth Russ with
Seth
a little bit of
looking for a call there. Yep, and he's going to get it. Oh.
No, went the other way. That's, you know, a high kick like that.
Yep.
You are taking your life into your own hands with a referee and otherwise. So not necessarily surprising to see that call. And the injured player pops right up and hits the free kick. Indy Boys again.
Indy Boys again trapping themselves with inside their own goalie box. They don't seem to play it out very often. And the Common have taken advantage of it every single time. As Mooney looks to get a touch in there. Gives it off to Avery.
Avery. Oh, nice turn by Avery.
Avery needs some help now. Gives it back to Mooney. Mooney plays a great ball. Seth Russ. Oh!
Seth just couldn't decide what to do with it until it was too late. It was an awkward ball. A nice ball.
That was tough, yeah.
That's not a part of your body that you want to really be dealing with, the ball, and on that type of angle, too.
But once again, obviously, Coach Sorg preached with Mooney. Such a valuable asset in setting up those goalie opportunities.
Indy Boys an unearned corner as we are a little over halfway through this first half.
Oh, Coach Sorg is out of his chair now.
Given instruction. I don't know what the betting over/under was for corners on this game, but I think Lansing Common single-handedly above the total for both teams, certainly well above the single-team total.
Would have loved to know those odds as well.
Yeah, how are the bookmakers setting that?
I'll check out DraftKings in a minute here.
Avery Dresky not quite able to get it on frame. Ben Derby calling for a foul, and he gets the corner as it was over the line.
Mooney once again will play this ball in from the corner.
You know, they're spending a lot of time in the part of the park that's just not that easy to see from up here in our booth. Fortunately, the folks watching the stream have no such issue.
Let's see if Avery can get that goal that he got taken away back.
Seth calls for the short corner, gets on the other end of it, but man.
Spencer Powell was there, it was deflected the other way. Uziak gets blocked. Max Crawford.
The amount of corners that have bounced harmlessly through the 6 or just outside has been really something.
That'll be a common throw. Good job by Swati there. Just
a little bit of a reckless tackle, but earns the throw.
He had that guy coming. Just good job by Swati, just avoiding any mistakes there. Looks like we got some subs warming up, getting loose.
And one more reason that the squad looks a little bit different this week is State Cup today in Saginaw. And so Sammy Contreras, Joey Farhat, I know a number of guys who were in the lineup and some who were even starting last week were playing club today, played a full game before noon in Saginaw. And so
nice turn there by Indy.
Not going to expect them to make the trip back to Lansing and play another full game in the 82-degree heat.
No, I think that would take a toll on just about anybody. So we have an Indy Boyz player slow to get up after it was a handball after he tripped and fell on the ball. KP out in the backfield. Finds Max Crawford. There's Seth.
Seth calling for the ball, just no angle as the defender played that well.
Max once again with a long throw-in. That'll be another common throw-in for us. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that Max will be a key part in the throw-ins this year.
And Jack Voigt and Ty have been playing in each other's positions for a large part of this first half. I don't assume that was planned, but the kind of thing that Sorg is willing to let guys experiment with.
Yeah. Indy Boyz. Oh, Ty Uziak, great job pressuring.
Ty's got Seth. He finds him. Seth off to the races with the defender. He's got a couple options.
See if he can get
Beats his man in the box. Great shot by Seth Russ.
See if Uziak can. Yep.
Ty Uziak puts the rebound home.
Great job by Uziak following.
3-0 in the 32nd.
Following that shot deflection, right place, right time. Great job of him coming in there and cleaning up that goal.
How many balls have there been like that this first half? Just dangerous.
Just dangerous.
Bouncing around in the box, and Ty Uziak says, this one's mine.
It's a 3-0 common lead. We're 31 minutes into this game.
Daniel Silva. And another sub. Getting warm, getting ready to come in. He's wearing number 6, but this spreadsheet says Kevin Payne's wearing number 6, so I know that's not right.
We're learning as we go here, folks.
You know, I'm actually happy that Kevin Payne's wearing 23. That's easier for everybody.
Swati will look to find somebody. Gives back to Ben Derby. Derby will play it out to the right. Max Crawford, back to Kevin Payne. Common really just taking their time, taking advantage of the space that they're given. As Mooney will set up. Oh. So that's deflected. It was intended for Brett Swatton.
Young man clearly a little upset that the ball didn't find its way to him as he, again, had acres of space to work with down the left side. And the subs will come in.
Substitution for Lansing Common. Coming in number 6, Jack Field. And number 16, Daniel Silva. Replace Melton Munir Sharali.
Daniel Silva and Jack Heald both entering the game.
And Mooney out after
Mooney and
33 minutes.
Mooney and I think that was Avery.
Avery
came out as
Drusky,
well.
yes, sir.
Both of those guys played some hard minutes out there, especially Mooney. He was a key. He was a pivotal role. Played a pivotal role in setting a lot of goals up, and setting up a lot of opportunities for this Common offense.
Jack Heald has certainly earned the 60 minutes he might be standing to earn here, as he was just all over the place both last weekend in the opening friendly, and he was somebody that we talked a lot about up here in the booth during the community kickoff the week before that.
Yeah, I noticed that during Thursday's practice session. He was just everywhere, just hustling. Just a guy that you could tell really wanted to contribute in any way that he can.
Also buried a penalty kick during a pivotal penalty kick during the community kickoff as that ended 2-2 between the red and the white teams.
That'll be a free kick for the Indy Boyz. I have yet to see any type of sets or kind of distribution cleanly of the ball from any of these free kicks by the Indy Boyz.
I believe that's Ken Seelman over there waving the diver down flag, indicating his displeasure with the acting job by the Indy Boyz and the by job by the referee.
That ball will be played in, no problem for our keeper, Sean O'Mara. Goalkeeper out of Western Michigan.
Ben Derby with a lackadaisical ball across his own box to Kevin Payne, sort of indicating the game state here. Dangerous, no matter what the scoreline. As you know, we've seen a 7-5 scoreline here in the Midwest Premier League in these opening weeks.
Yeah, I think it's important too for these Common players to not just get complacent with the lead right now.
Brett Swatton with a little 1-2, and I know Coach Sorg agrees. He's got Ty Uziak running free in the middle, but he's
just
going
going
to
to take this for himself. Oh, that'll be deflected. Oh.
Great recovery by the defender to deny Seth Russ there. And Max Crawford's going to pop it back into the box. Brett Swatton waiting for it and just couldn't quite handle it as it was deflected just before it got to him.
I think Swatty was a little surprised that ball got through.
He looked like he was ready for anything but the header, and that was unfortunately what hit him. So
we don't see him miss too many touches like that. Once again, Indy Boyz playing it in their own box, and
you know, maybe I have seen this before at this level. Maybe the keeper is not accurate or just doesn't have the power to go that long.
Yeah.
But unfortunately for his
goal,
another great shot there.
Is that Ty
Uziak from the top of the box just picked up the turnover and made him pay for it. It is 4-0 in the 38th minute.
Great job by Ty Uziak there, getting revenge for the one that he missed earlier just on the easy touch.
Kevin Payne coming and giving some scouting to Coach Sorg during the break, as we've seen him do a lot of the last few years. Brett Swatton says, come on, man, it's 4-0.
You got to love that out of KP, though. Even though they're up a lot, it's a team that is obviously an inferior opponent. He still wants these. He's still seeing things, reading things, and wants his teammates to get better.
Fetty Omar and Victor Toon now trotting to the scorer's table to join somebody whose face is concealed because they're bending over.
We'll see.
That's Sammy Omar.
Sammy Omar. The Omar brothers checking in. Both of them out of Hazlet, Michigan. Good header by Max Crawford there, cutting off that pass.
It was a nice cross that looked like it was going to turn into something dangerous, but Max came out of nowhere there.
Oh, shot on goal. That'll be deflected by Ben Derby. What's this? Great job by Jack Voigt coming in there once again. Oh. That'll be a goal kick for the Common. Once again, Jack Voigt just sticking his nose in there, coming to help out Swati once again.
Sean O'Mara calling for the ball, and I think we got a very young ball kid on that side of the field. Maybe he wasn't ready for that.
He's trying his best. Oh, we have a race to go get the ball by both of the ball kids now. Gotta love being young.
Okay, we've got Ty Uziak coming out for Fetty Omar. We've got Max Crawford coming out for Victor Toon. Victor playing in his traditional position there in right back. And Seth Russ is off for Sammy Omar.
Number 11, Sammy Omar. And number 17, Victor Toon.
Sean O'Mara gets ready to play this ball in. Boots it down just out of reach of Victor Toon.
And it looks like Coach Sorg might have found something with this 4-2-3-1, as we've seen 5 substitutions, and the Robins are maintaining their shape with Spence Powell and Jack Heald holding there in the double pivot as double sixes. Daniel Silva up there at the 10, Jack Voigt and Sammy Omar on the wing, and then Fetty playing striker today. As the offsides flag goes up.
Yeah, this formation has led to a lot of opportunities for the Common today. It's been great to see. I know Sorg was wanting to kind of tweak. He started off the year differently with the 4-1-4-1. Just didn't know how that would work out, and then he regressed back to this formation, and it's worked out today, to say the least.
Always a bit of a struggle of mixed metaphors, what have you, whether it's your puzzle pieces, your Jenga tower, trying to put pieces together.
Swatton played into Fetty Omar. Oh.
Fetty fortunate to get a deflection, and then Sammy came in, and it looks like the keeper may have been injured, and Indy Boyz don't have another keeper on the bench.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, they have 3 subs on the bench.
I didn't necessarily see anything.
No, it looked like Sammy was just kind of coming in hot to see if he could.
Came in for a loose ball there, and it looks like he's going to be okay.
It's good to see, especially with they have pretty much little to no depth on the bench.
Sean Bryce playing goalkeeper for the Indy Boyz. Looked for a second there as if Fetty was going to get his first goal of the year. His shot was deflected, but went right to the keeper. Came out for a big fat rebound.
As we have an Indy Boyz player down.
And the trainer hitting the field for the first time today.
Yeah, it looked like him and Sammy Omar got a little tangled up over there. Sammy pressuring him on ball. Wasn't exactly sure what led to the injury. As our guys will collect some much-deserved water in this 80-degree heat. Looks like the player will come off the field and Indy Boyz will sub in. Let's see if we can squeak one out here in this next minute and a half. Maybe.
Fetty Omar.
Fetty Omar.
Alone in the box.
Goal. Fetty
Buries it.
Omar. Wow. I just spoke that into existence. That was beautiful to see, man.
I was going to say, Marshall, going to join the supporters group. We want more goals.
We want more goals.
A fifth in the back of the net in the 44th minute.
Just a dominant performance on both ends by the Common so far.
This is a new one for me for a Lansing Common game, no matter the level of opponent. And yeah, it's just a brutal combination of a really warm day here in Lansing, a long drive up from Indy, I'm sure, especially in separate cars, and God knows what other extenuating circumstances, but certainly a scoreline you love to see in the first 45 of league play for the Robins.
And getting these subs their reps in too. They've been working hard, and you love to see it pay off for a guy like Fetty.
Believe I just saw 2 fingers for 2 minutes of extra time signaled from the scorer's table.
All right. Let's get another one then. Why not? Spoke it into existence last time. Let's see if we can't get another. Come on, KP. Plays it out to Victor Toon.
Victor Toon playing right back as the 4th official does signal for 2 minutes of extra time. Over to Ben Derby, directed traffic there. Back to Jack Heald.
Good ball by Jack
Jack
Heald.
finds Sammy.
Sammy, just looks like Jack Boyd just didn't quite make that run soon enough. As looks like it'll be Brett Swatton to throw this ball in for the Common. Finds Fetty Omar, just a lot of space around him.
Fetty sees his brother.
Back to his brother. Oh, that would have been a beautiful brother combination right there. But once again, these touches that Coach Sorg was emphasizing, quick touches, under 4 touches, playing the ball and go. We've seen a lot of that today from the Common.
Fearless, I would add to my adjectives. Just Ben Derby able to steer it out of harm's way, and back to Brett Swatton.
Find
KP
Victor
finds
Toon.
Vic Toon making a piercing run down the right side. Vic with absolutely no pressure in his face.
Plays it out to Fetty Omar. Fetty will see if he can play it in back to the middle. Oh, looks like that'll be a goal kick.
Goodness.
For the Indy Boyz.
I don't know about that. I think there might be something to my theory that this Indy Boyz keeper just doesn't really have a boot on him. What we've seen in a previous game where that was the case was the other team was still just trying to boot it on goal kicks long again and again and again, not even making it halfway, and it just resulted in chances for Lansing Common again and again and again. But I just can't imagine wanting to play out of the back into the teeth of this Lansing Common press. As the officials' whistle goes off, we've got 5-0 at halftime in Lansing Common's first Midwest Premier League Western Division game of the season. We'll be back in 15 minutes. And we are back for the second half from Eastern Stadium on a beautiful evening here in Lansing. And a beautiful evening on the scoreboard for Lansing Common. 5 goals to none for the visiting Indy Boyz. Marshall, what'd you like out there?
I liked just about everything, especially offensively. I mean, Mooney was doing such a great job of distributing balls to get him out offensively. Some great touches, specifically that one by Seth Russ, that second goal. That was just beautiful work of art, great pass, great finish. But yeah, I like everything that we're doing. Our guys in the back are doing a great job of holding it down and taking their time and distributing the ball well. So yeah, I like just about everything I'm seeing so far.
And you're seeing the press continue as Indy Boyz plays the opening kickoff in reverse for 50 yards. We've got a third guest with us on the booth for this second half. One of the first players to ever sign with Lansing Common. One of the longest tenured, most minutes, and I would say most exciting goals scored. Mr. Julian Burge. How you doing tonight, Jules?
Good, Josh. How are you? Glad to be here.
It's a beautiful night for soccer in Lansing.
It is indeed.
Jules, which of the guys out here have you played with either just outside of a Lansing Common setting or also coached?
Great question. Yeah, I mean, well, of course, all the returners, I was teammates with in the past years, and Spencer Powell and Tony Burton are the 2 guys that I coached in high school who are in the squad today. And I remember specifically coaching against Avery when he played at DeWitt. And I coached against Ty as well, Uziak, kind of in my early coaching career. So yeah, those are the guys, and Victor, of course, too. Yeah, really a lot of the local guys who played since 2017 or 18 I've coached for or against.
Yeah, and as you just kind of implied, those guys with long-time Lansing ties, it's really important to us to have those on the squad.
Yeah, no, I think it's great to have local guys because they also help with the passion and of being from here and really wanting to win for the city.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you might see, some tifos and signs that look a little unfamiliar. They're doing a little 10 years of Lansing soccer, so you see some Lansing Ignite stuff over there, as well as some Lansing United from the last 10 years.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. Love to see that.
A little bit of danger, but nothing crazy, as Indy Boyz keeper does try to go along with it for the first time, and maybe we see a little bit of why he hasn't been trying to push that. But maybe we saw a little bit of what they were talking about at halftime, eh, Marshall?
Yeah, that goes back to what you were saying kind of earlier. Maybe they just don't trust him when he kicked the ball out of the air, because I believe that he distributed the ball just not even to the 10-yard line every time for a goal kick. So, yeah, maybe that was a little preview of maybe why.
Tough tackle on the back heel of Sammy Omar, but it's coming back to Lansing Common for a throw-in. And Jules, it's gratifying for me, so I gotta think it's gratifying for you too, to see some of those guys that you coached, but also are some of the longest tenured guys playing their 3rd year here. Victor Toon and Spence Powell and Avery breaking through and getting real minutes with the starting 11.
Yeah, no, I'm really happy for those guys. I've thought very highly of them for a long time, and it's really no surprise to me that they are breaking through now. And especially with Avery being a fellow center mid for the most part, I've seen his quality for many years now, and I've known that he could do some really good things for a long time.
I think he hit the weight room at St. Bonaventure this last academic year too, looking a little beefed up.
Yeah,
with some facial hair to boot.
That's right.
I also think, it goes without saying for our supporters, but it should be said that having guys that play 2, 3, 4 years with the same team at this level is unheard of anywhere else.
Yeah, it is really rare, and I think it does help with that team bonding and just kind of consistency within the club and having that shared goal each year. And it's just really great to have that.
couple possessions each way. No real danger for either side as we are just about 5 minutes into this second half.
I think that's so true, and just terms of like if you've ever been a part of a team, if you're familiar with your teammates, you've grown up playing with them, and just all of you guys are progressing together, it definitely leads to just kind of better overall camaraderie within the team, and you guys can start to trust each other.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, the team continuity on the field is built from the relationships you make off the field as well. So yeah, having that familiarity with each other can definitely be a positive, especially at the beginning of a season when people are coming in from all sorts of places, high school, colleges, work, wherever it is. If you can have that initial continuity, it can really help with those early results.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we talk a lot about culture here, both on the board throughout the year, but certainly at the club through the season as well. And I think, that bears itself out in the awards that we get the most excited about giving at the end of the year are not for the guys that are scoring the most goals, although those are exciting, are not for goal of the year, although that's always fun to go back and remember what happened 10 weeks ago. But really for the community-focused stuff. That was always, year after year, it's a lot of fun to watch guys who you never expect to really come out of their shell to do so.
Number 16, Daniel Silva.
And one of those stand-up guys, an original open tryout Lansing Common squad member being shown a yellow card in Daniel Silva.
Did we have any yellows last week?
No, in fact, not a lot of fouls, period, and not a lot of throw-ins given to Livonia. It was we judged the game as overall lacking juice.
Okay. When
we finally realized that was happening about 55 minutes into the game.
Showed in the score a little bit too.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, not on the home side of the ball, but it certainly was it felt a little like a slog for the visitors from Livonia. Pretty shortly into the game and for long stretches.
It's Fetty Omar. Oh. Plays to the backside of his brother, Sammy.
Oh, my goodness.
Just
Keeper getting a little reckless once again in the box for Indy Boyz.
Kevin Payne finding somebody. Finds Silva. It's back out to Victor Toon. Victor Toon. Lose a little bit of track of the ball.
Jules, watching, did you just walk in at the first half, or did I just catch you coming back? Did you watch the first half?
I did.
Okay.
I did watch the first half, yes.
Were there any new guys that you really liked what you saw? Oh, I'm sorry.
Here we go.
We have action.
Ooh.
Jack Voigt just could not complete the cross over to Fetty. Jules, were there brand new guys to the team that you were not familiar with before that got you saying, as Shaq would say, I was not familiar with your game?
Yes, and I saw a little bit on live stream of the game last week, so I saw some of the same guys, today as well. I really like the left back. He's a really good player.
Brett Swatton.
Swatton.
Anybody that you can give a hockey nickname to, you're going to find the guys in the booth are really going to like that guy. But no, Brett's somebody whose play on the field has really just distinguished himself.
Yeah, no, he's really technical on the ball, and I like his forward thinking as well.
As that ball's
You can tell he's a
deflected,
good player.
and that'll be a goal by Fetty.
One touch off the rebound for Fetty Omar. I'm not really certain what the Indy Boyz
Are
calling
protesting
for.
I think they're asking for offsides, Josh.
That would be a new one, as we've got the 6th goal of the game in the 54th minute.
Great job by Fetty just to stick his nose in there, clean up that after the kind of deflected off the Indy Boyz goalie there a little bit.
Yeah, Fetty has really good striker instincts. He's always going to be in there following up every single shot because he's an opportunist with those.
Yeah, and going back to Brett Swatton, when I was at Thursday's practice session, and that's the first thing I texted Josh was I really like Swatty out on the left side. Just first touch, first instinct, like always has his head up, just looking to make the right pass instead of his teammates.
Yeah. I like number 6 as well, this defensive mid. I saw a little bit from him last week.
Yeah, an English kid, Jack Heald.
Out of Clear University, that
Yep,
is?
plays over in Livingston County when he's stateside, but hails from England originally.
There's Indy Boyz pressing here. Oh, just ran into his own teammate.
That number 7 seems to be their most dangerous player.
Yeah.
From what I've seen.
As Kevin Payne will keep their striker out of striking distance by just body checking him out of the way.
Got another injury as well over here.
Yeah, and for a team that has little depth, that's it's not good.
Nope.
So we hope that player is okay.
Yeah, and they were calling for the trainer before play stopped. I did not see what happened, but he is definitely coming out.
Good to see him up and moving. So it looks like he'll make his way off the field.
Tough to have so few subs in this heat as well.
Yeah, something that just we see again and again at this level. Teams make the trip to Lansing with without many more than 11.
Especially in these heat conditions like that, especially on a turf field too. It gets especially hot down there.
Certainly does. You show up here at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't care what the thermometer says. It's about 20 degrees warmer at midfield.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but number 19 started the game for them, right? And now he's back in.
Yes, Jules, thank you for flagging that. One of those things that we're going to need to repeat for our viewers. Some new substitution rules.
Oh, this is a hard
Aggressive
tackle there.
tackle from Jack Heald. Did get the ball. Is getting a little bit of a lecture. I don't think we'll see a card for that.
But once again, unfortunately for the Indy Boyz, they have another guy down, as one of their players had previously just came off.
But Jules, yes, you can re-enter the game. New this year, as the league is making a few changes to substitutions, mostly to bring it more in line with what you see in college soccer.
Okay, gotcha. So are there, I know last year it was you could only make up to 7 substitutions. Is that different as well?
We are, I believe, down to 6 this year.
Oh, okay.
But with the double subs, obviously a little bit more flexibility in that. And also a little bit uncertainty for us, as we see a sub at the 30-minute mark. Not
as there's a hard
goodness.
tackle there.
Not always sure whether that means Sorg is sitting somebody down for the rest of the game or making a strategic move there.
As Victor Toon will look to play this ball in. Find Avery.
Avery would
play it out.
all kinds of space, and that was another thing that the guys commented on at halftime was, just taking that space and making sure to play balls to feet, because you got the room to do that.
They've been given a lot of space this game.
Sammy Omar trying the 1-2 with Daniel Silva. Out for a Lansing Common throw-in.
It's like Silva's pass just kind of caught too far inside, and
A
the defender was
little
able to
bit
get in
too
there.
hot to handle.
As Victor Toon will look to throw this ball in.
Vic finds Fetty just at the edge of the 18. Trying for his brother. Goes back to Indy Boyz. Vic Toon there to clear it up.
Coached against both the Omars as well.
What's something that stands out about their game to you?
I mean, Sammy is really clever and crafty on the ball. And of course, he's just recently out of high school. And yeah, like I said kind of earlier, Fetty's just, he has got striker's instincts.
Yep.
So if he gets the ball in and around the box, pretty good chance he's going to finish on if he gets that chance. So, and he works very hard as well.
Yeah.
It's going to be a free kick as was a takedown there on the left side in a dangerous area. It'll be interesting to see who takes this.
Is it Swati that's taking it?
I believe so, yes.
Play a good one in there, Brett. Let's see it.
Two-man wall for Indy and a lot of bodies in the box for Lansing.
So that'll be cleared out by Indy. Right back to Swati. Ben Derby will play it back to Sean O'Mara. Finds Victor Toon. Back to O'Mara. Let's see if Derby can find someone to play a big ball to here.
He's got options, plays Silva.
Plenty of space for the Common right now. Oh, just looks like Fetty lost a little track of where he was going there with the out of bounds line.
A little bit of an unforced error there. Yeah, I think you're also seeing the middle of Indy's formation as this game wears on start to sag back a little bit, and that's creating even more space in the middle, and also just mucking things up on that back line.
So that'll be deflected off of Kevin.
Is that their first corner of the game?
I believe it is. Game in the 62nd minute.
See, lefty will play it in here. So that'll be kicked out. Good job by the Common there, getting that ball out. Sammy Omar really pushing on that ball.
Very narrowly avoided a 3-on-1 going Lansing's way.
Yeah, good contact on that clearance from Jack Voigt, who shows he can do more than just score goals. Very hard worker defensively.
We were
too.
talking about that earlier. Not something you typically see from somebody that scores that much.
Yeah, there's a couple times in that first half where he really helped out Swati on this side.
Yep. Well, I think I'm gonna let my friend Rosie join you guys soon. Do have to give a quick shout out to my guy Noah Canlis, who I saw posted in the stream. Great former Lansing Common player as well.
I am pleasantly surprised that he found time out of his busy schedule with Forward Madison to join us on the YouTube.
Yeah.
Noah, we're keeping a seat and a headset open for you whenever you can make it over to Lansing.
Hopefully soon. All right, great chatting with you guys.
Thanks, Jules.
No problem.
Looks like we got a throw in here. Victor Toon looking for someone. Indy Boyz wanting a handball, but they're not going to get it.
Bad turnover at the top of the box.
Silva
Right
looks to
Daniel
play
Silva.
it in. Fetty. Oh. Looks like that was deflected off an Indy Boyz player.
A little bit of lackadaisical play in their own end from Indy Boyz.
Yeah,
prompting
I think we're seeing some fatigue out of the Indy Boyz right now.
Coach is starting to get more vocally involved, telling the guys to get their heads back in the game. Derby once again. All kinds of space. And we've once again got a third member of our crew up here. What's up, Rosie?
How's it going?
We'll see what kind of characters we can scare into the comments section on the YouTube with another familiar face and voice up here.
As that'll be a throw-in for the common. Victor Toon looks like he'll be throwing it in.
What's this new sub rule? I'm getting thrown off here.
Yeah, guys can come back in. So the league is trying to move in line with NCAA rules. And so you are allowed a re-entry, which it looks like we are going to see here as Seth Russ is getting warm. Is it getting warm if you're coming back in again? I think everybody on the bench is plenty warm, but certainly getting loose. And it looks like Munir Shirali is coming back in. Rosie, who are the guys on this squad who, outside of a Lansing Common context, you played with, coached with, were familiar with last few years?
Well, coming from Olivet, I recruited a lot of these guys. We tried to get Avery to come play for us. Max Crawford, who started, we recruited him and everybody.
Oh, that's a tough loss to lose somebody like that to the Chicago suburbs.
Yeah,
but,
but no, other than that, Mooney, Ty, all those guys, guys that have been here for a few years, we're still really close off the field with. Couple, we've been hanging out. They came to my wedding and stuff, so
yeah,
we're very good friends there off the field.
A Lansing Common wedding, I love it. Yeah, Max Crawford is somebody who, when I saw Aurora, for guys that come out of D3, very familiar with that as a relatively big brand in Division III sports out there in the Chicago suburbs. Perennial football champions year after year. And Max is certainly somebody who, despite the baby face, has earned his starting spot there at right back. Josh, you're not somebody who spent as much time earlier in your career in the coaching game like Jules, but are you doing any coaching right now?
Yeah, so I am currently assistant at Olivet, University of Olivet now, actually. So I've been doing that. I graduated in 21, and I've been on staff there ever since. So I just started getting in the college game.
I was hoping we could see Nick in the game at keeper.
Yeah.
But that change has not happened and does not appear to be forthcoming. But that's a kid out of Fort Myers, Florida, right?
Yep.
Came all the way to Eaton County to go to college.
Yeah, I think he's got some family locally here.
Sure.
That he stays with during the season and stuff. So yeah, we got a couple Olivet guys. We got Kyle Buchan as well, who's on the bench right now. He's also an Olivet guy.
That's right.
So
yep.
We got a couple here.
Substitutions for Lansing Common.
Got Sammy Omar coming out, Avery Dresky coming out, and Daniel Silva coming out as Mooney, Seth Russ, and number 14 are back in the game. That's TJ Withrow. I looked at my sheet and I said, I know that's not Sammy Omar.
Would love to see some more balls distributed by Mooney here this half. Did such a good job of that in the first half.
Rosie, I would not have thought that you were recruiting some of these guys that ended up on Lansing Common. But how about other sort of young up-and-comers without, violating any NCAA rules on tampering? Are there any young high school up-and-comers on this year's squad that you're excited about, got your eyes on?
Yeah, actually, with all the announcements and stuff, I've been seeing kind of the high schoolers come into play with the squad now. And, I was at State Cup down in Saginaw earlier this morning, and I saw the Devlin play. Rourke, I believe is how you say his name.
Rourke Watterson.
Yep, saw him.
A favorite of the announcing crew.
saw him play earlier. And I saw, I think, a couple of the guys who will be on the, that have been announced. Christian Trunk, Carter Hagan, all them that were playing down in Saginaw as well. So it's seeing all these high schoolers now, it's kind of crazy. We went from Division I players and got a mix of those to Division III, NAIA, and now some high schoolers. So kind of all over the place.
Yeah, and it's interesting because the historical legacy of this squad is when you see a young guy like that, that's a long play, right? That's what you assume, is that somebody that you're hoping, like an Avery Dresky or Spencer Powell, like somebody who's worked his way up the roster, just worked his butt off for years, and now breaks into the starting 11 in year 3, both of them on the squad. Whereas then you see somebody like Rourke Watterson just immediately starting center mid last week against Livonia and earns an assist on the game-winning goal, passing the ball off to Jack Voigt, which has got to be a good feeling for a kid, 16 years old, getting a higher level of play than he's used to in his high school days. And as Rosie said, a lot of those younger guys played a full game or more this morning on the Saginaw State Cup. And so they were not asked to come to Eastern Stadium this evening.
I believe they all won as well this morning. So
really,
play again tomorrow.
Great to hear. A little bittersweet, as we don't want the club season to go too long, but good to see guys having success in other settings. And Coach Derby was up there with you guys as well.
Yep, I ran into him there watching a couple games.
And as a college assistant coach, like, what's like the biggest thing that you look for in a player? Obviously, talent will play a big factor into it, but like, what's a big factor to you that will just make a player stand out from the rest?
Yeah, I mean, athletic ability is kind of up there. Communication, that a lot goes unnoticed by coaches. But if you're the one out there, directing the traffic and everything, that speaks loudly of who you are as a player, not only on the field but off the field as well. So those are kind of the two attributes we look at, and then just someone who's coachable. You got to be coachable, especially in the Division III realm of the world. It's obviously academics are first, so you gotta be able to be good in the classroom as well. Grade point average is a big key there.
Yeah.
So other than that, those are kind of the big things we look for in a player.
Yeah.
And now turn that on its head. When you've got guys who are at Olivet who are maybe asking you for advice on what to do in the summer, what goes into that decision? Without obviously saying you just tell them all to come to Lansing Common.
Yeah, it's both the guys here, Nick and Kyle, are two of our best players on our team. So it's definitely good to get them playing in the summer. We have another couple guys playing for Troy United, who I think you guys will see on Monday. A couple of those guys, and this is the first year I think Kyle and Nick have played in the summer, and we had a couple guys last year play in the summer, and they took that next step in the fall and were outstanding for us. So we're trying to get as many guys playing as we can, just to kind of continue to get that competitive game time that they can get, and especially at a higher level than a lot of people play at. So
Troy United appear to have a great squad. 4-1 victory last night. My favorite thing about those guys, though, is they're just really community-minded, are really aiming to make a difference in their community, not just on the pitch. And always love seeing them, and as Josh said, seeing them for a friendly in a couple days.
Yeah, and going back to what you said of just playing over the summer, like that's such a big factor in how and how their fall will be. Just making sure that they're well conditioned, that they're communicating properly, that they're all kind of on the same page. Because obviously those first couple practices are going to be, they're still with incoming freshmen, like they're going to be learning names and stuff like that. But if they can play over the summer and just kind of get that bond going before, that can play a huge factor in how the season can go on during the fall. Yeah,
we definitely, with that took the next step this year with making a conference final, playing Calvin in the MWPL championship. Now that we're getting guys playing, year round besides obviously the winter, it's definitely making us more experienced, giving us, it's almost like they're playing as a freshman, but they're a junior, kind of on the field in the mindset there. So it's definitely, with all these leagues that are forming and all these teams, so many opportunities are available for these kids to play all over the state. So
nobody was more excited about finally checking our last MIAA box than Eric Walcott. We added young Extreme Hawk, a Calvin University student, first Calvin kid on the squad in the history of Lansing Common. So that was the last outstanding one. We had added guys from every MIAA school. Extreme will be joining us when he's done with his club duties later this year.
Who was the Trine kid?
good question that I don't have an answer for off the top of my head, but I know he had one.
As we have an Indy Boyz player coming off the field.
Yeah, it looked like he and Seth Russ just kind of got their feet tangled up as Seth was kind of apologizing before the shot was even saved. Whew. TJ Withrow with an authoritative tackle, just not able to keep possession.
Victor Toonson did a great job there of stopping an attack. Common really just taking their time. Just once again, space. It's played a huge part in this game.
Just really rock solid defensively too. And you know, for those who might be a little bit surprised to see Kevin Payne appearing to be set to put in a full 90 out there, that's a guy that's going to do that week after week after week. And you know, he showed up from Niagara this week, ready to go, and told the coaching staff that. So
did he just get into town?
Yeah, he graduated last Saturday, and actually his availability said he was a maybe for this week. But I think he sent the text on Tuesday to say have a training kit ready for me, and it's been at 100%. KP extinguishing that threat, sending it right back to Indy Boyz.
Once again, just
stopping another long ball.
Just the wall.
How good is he?
Yeah, I don't think there are a lot of players we've had in the club's history who would have been asked to be the lone center back in a back three like Sorg did to KP last year. And you know what? He never once made us regret it.
He's been so good at communicating too. That's
Yeah.
like the biggest thing I've seen, especially in the practice sessions this week. It was just,
He's got it.
just offside by Fetty Omar.
I don't know. I thought he was on, but
Official attendance figure.
the official had a better look at it.
352 fans. 352 fans.
As the PA announces, we had 352 fans here tonight. We'll probably sell a fewer sweatshirts this week than we did last week. But great turnout in both grandstands as the weather is in mid-season form. Another short free kick for Indy Boyz as we're in the 78th minute. Hammers it back to the keeper. Fetty with consistent pressure. Man's all alone on the outside of the pitch and turns it right over to Jack Heald, who just cannot find Fetty Omar on the other side of that long ball.
Pass was just a little too strong there from Heald.
You get that type of opportunity mid-season, that'll be a goal. You know, it looks like we're still
No
kind
doubt.
of shaking off the rust in a little bit of these,
doubt.
little bit of these passes.
And that was the message from the coaching staff at halftime too. Things just needed to be tighter across the board, which is something else in a 5-0 game. Indy Boyz again trying to break through this press.
Once again, playing with the ball a lot in their own box. As they boot it.
Big boot goes right to Brett Swadden.
Right to our guy, Swatty.
All kinds of bodies in the box.
Oh.
I thought Jack Voigt had that one, and he did too.
He had Seth Russ coming through the middle too as well.
Rosie, you got a most memorable game that you played in, besides the one that we made you play center back for?
Yeah, that was a fun one. The bad memory always comes up first with the Inter Detroit game a couple years ago. That's always the first one, as much as that sucks.
Marshall, did you watch the documentary yet?
I have not.
You get to so you get to relive that, and you can see what we're talking about.
Yeah, I honestly maybe the first game ever here. Our first game, I think it was a friendly.
Yeah, Fort Wayne.
Yep, I remember I scored second goal I think ever for the club. So I think that was that's always something that stands out for me.
With two of our guys not getting to dress for that first game ever because they had to wear Fort Wayne jerseys because they only brought 9. And we said, I don't know what we're going to do here, but I know what we're not going to do, and that's not play this game. I knew you were going to go deep into the bag for that one, but I didn't know how deep.
Yeah. It's like Ty's back on there.
And that was actually, if I remember correctly, that was the first goal from the run of play in Lansing Common history, because the first goal of that game was off a penalty kick.
Yeah. Do you remember who scored it?
No, I don't. That was before I learned to chill out during games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that when you were still over across the way?
Real high strung.
The DCFC game away was just also another fun one.
Yeah. It's about 20 degrees hotter than it is out here today.
Yeah.
And they ran out of food and water in the concession stands there at historic Keyworth Stadium.
It's a great combination. Tell you what, Ben Derby and KP have just been nails back there. It's just, it feels like night and day with those two. Good.
Whistle for something.
Looks like offsides.
An offsides call.
Yeah, this team's kind of got everything. You know, we got KP and Derby in the back line. I mean, that front three is as good as any front three, I think, in this league, if not the best.
Yeah.
And we got a couple really good, with getting Mooney back was huge.
Oh, Seth
is in.
Seth is in.
What a save.
Oh, what a save. Oh.
Wow.
Seth Russ probably thinking to himself, man, how did I not finish that? But it was a good save by the keeper. Mooney, once again, looks like he'll be taking the corner.
He told me he only had 30 minutes in him today, so he's pushing that number.
Well,
I think.
he played 35, and then he got to sit for an hour.
So maybe another 30 on.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
A rest.
Another nice ball, and that one does find Kevin Payne's head, who is not able to get much mustard on it.
Threw his hands up in there a little bit. I think he wanted that one.
Into the keeper's arms.
Oh.
That's going to be a yellow card.
Yeah, Tyus, getting a little handsy, and we'll see a yellow.
Yep.
Yellow card shown to Lansing Common number 7.
Now KP getting a little frisky with the soccer ball. Yeah, I hear you, Rosie. This was a squad that had some question marks in the midfield, and I think with Avery and Spencer Powell in that double 6, and then you drop Mooney in at the 10, and then we've just got a few weeks to shake out the subs and see how they land.
Yep, I think that was kind of looking at the roster that Sorg and coaching staff put together. That was always kind of my question mark was the midfield, as well as how deep is the team,
Yeah.
And then back line was as solid as it can get. Front three, like I mentioned, as good as it can get. And those next two spots. You know, Sean and goal's been
Great
very
save
good.
by Sean there.
Yeah, O'Mara found himself a little bit out of position, but he was able to make up for it, and ball never found the frame, so it didn't matter.
That's tough to do as well. He hasn't had much work tonight, so staying on his toes like that's always good for a goalkeeper.
As well, the Indy Boyz corner.
I believe this their second corner of the game. Oh, in the swinger, and there's a collision between Sean O'Mara and Brett Swadden. It looks like they're both fine. Ball goes out for another corner, and Brett says, "What are you doing, man? I had it."
A little bit of miscommunication there.
I believe we've also got some sunshine coming right in their eyes.
And a beautiful day here in Lansing. Indy Boyz elect to play the short pass, play it in. Great job by Swati there, getting that out of there.
And you saw that last week, too. Is there anybody watching the stream last week might remember there was kind of a weird ball that Will Berry kind of fumbled around and was fortunate to keep it off the line. And he was saying after the game, same thing, sun in his eyes. And so this game being played at the same time, not unexpected to see a little bit of the same stuff. No harm, no foul.
Substitution for Indy Boyz FC. Coming in, number 20, Paul Holgerson.
Love seeing that at a tie. Still hustling even in the 86th minute.
Yeah, he wanted that missed one back, and he went and got it back. Foul actually called over there. Free kick goes negative. Over to KP, who's got plenty of space.
Plays it over to Victor Toon. Oh,
Good move.
some great touches by the Common here.
Great ball by Ty.
See if TJ can get to this ball or not. Oh.
Took a little bit of a bad touch, cleaned up his mistake, and then a little bit too clever by half with the back heel, nobody there. Victoon says, try again. There's the back heel to Mooney. Finally converts it.
Found the guy. As Indy Boyz once again retains possession inside, close to inside near their goalie box.
Intercepted by Victoon. Moves it up to Seth Russ. Finds Ty in the center.
Good move by Ty there as he cuts in. Oh, beautiful.
Offside.
7 is offsides. Wow.
We've had a couple of those tonight.
That's one way to erase your defensive mistake.
Once again, though, just great movement by the Common again.
Yeah, absolutely. All acres of space in the box. And the cross goes out for Indy Boyz. Lansing says right back in the 89th minute. Ty all alone. Seth streaking in has found himself offside, way offside. Must have got back on for that ball.
Seth with his left foot. Oh,
Man. Just about found that back post. Did have some room. We've got some more YouTube comments being read in. Rest assured, if you're commenting on the stream, your words are not going ignored. 4 minutes of extra time, signaled for by the fourth official, who's doing the signaling himself.
The fourth official has indicated there will be at least 4 minutes of added time.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Ty is just
That's
being
a pen.
Oh, wow.
Gotta be.
Oh.
Ty taken down with 2 hands by the keeper in the box, and the head official says, look, boys, this is a 6-0 game. Ty pleading his case. And,
You gotta love that, just being relentless when you're up 6, 4 minutes to play. No quit in Ty Uziak.
the keeper just about gets himself into the same pickle.
Would have been interesting to see if he would have tackled him again.
He's got a green light to do that from the official.
So play it
Dangerous ball, but Sean O'Mara comes up to say,
in. Not today.
KP once again directing traffic.
And once again with a lot of space around him.
Ball played all the way back to the keeper by the Indy Boyz. Ty comes up to press him.
Keeper is trying to make some moves out there.
He's onside.
Great job by Sean.
Sean.
Keeping that clean sheet.
Ball goes off the official, who signals for an Indy Boyz throw-in.
Wasn't
Here
a
in
bad
the
touch off the shoulder.
92nd. No, it wasn't. Official says, no, you're about 20 yards ahead of where the ball went out. Indy Boyz again playing negative.
It's become quite a theme this game.
Great takeaway by TJ Withrow, just unable to maintain possession. Just a shade under 2 minutes left in our extra time here. As Vic Toon stands over it.
Ben Derby calling
Tosses
for
it
it.
back to Kevin Payne.
Ben's going to take his time here. And rightfully so.
Yeah, I don't know. Munir's not moving like somebody who only had 30 minutes.
Yeah, I think he lied to us there. He said he was out of shape still. He said he just made the decision last week to come back.
He is in med school, so he's got that doctor's pessimism. Another great ball by Ty.
Keeper electing not to use his hands there.
That was an interesting move there.
Maybe he forgot. All I can say is I've been there before.
KP once again. Just being a wall back there, denying any type of passes that the Indy Boyz are trying to get past him. As we get stretched down to these final 50 seconds.
Mooney coming all the way back. Playing with the ball, plenty of space. Jack Heald finds Vic Toon.
Let's work on the passing here.
Looks up and says, you take it. Jack back to Ben Derby, back to Jack, and the referee says that'll do it for today.
That'll be it.
6 goals for Lansing, none for Indy Boyz, and most importantly, 3 points in the standings. We're going to be back on Monday at 11 a.m. for a friendly, and then after that, not for a few weeks. I am Josh Pugh with Marshall Acosta, and tonight, Rosie, as we are going to be bringing you 3 men in the booth as much as we can this season, just trying to have some fun, but not as much fun as they were having on the field tonight. We're going to sign off. You have a great rest of your night, folks.